Hey guys, it's Olivia. Welcome back to my channel. So today, I am going to be reading you page 100 because I reached page 100, but the thing is about that, I said I was going to be reading page 100, but the thing is, once I got to page 100, I realized number one, it's at the end of a chapter, so it's only like a couple of paragraphs, and I don't feel like you guys deserve that. And number two, it's a big spoiler. So I'm actually going to be reading page 101, which is actually the beginning of a chapter, and it'll be easier kind of to understand it a bit, because that last chapter is literally like number one, major spoiler, like I said, and number two, like only 3 paragraphs, which is also really sad. So, well, we are on page 101 now, and I'm just going to read this. I'm going to go as slow as possible, and I will also be posting it on this channel too. I'll be like posting the text, so if you wanted to just read it from there, you can do that too, instead of watch this. So here we go. So this is the beginning of chapter 16. Let me go. Get off of me! Atlas jolted awake, opening his eyes. But before he could do anything else, he heard a beeping noise, indicating the door was opening. He looked up, watching as the metal door opened and someone was shoved inside. It was a girl, and she stumbled into the room, skidding to the ground before she could catch her balance. She stood up immediately, running to the door. Before she could make it, nevertheless, it was slammed in her face. She stumbled back and groaned, turning her back to the metal and putting her face in her hands. Atlas blinked, then yawned. That was quite a show to wake up to, he thought to himself. He smiled a bit. Then that very smile fell, and I'm gonna have to skip a little bit of that because that is a spoiler. So here we go. Then suddenly, he heard another voice. I just picked up. Sorry if that was abrupt. Then suddenly, he heard another voice. Hey, are you alright? Atlas looked back at the girl's direction to see Mabel, who was now kneeling next to her. Her face was scrunched in a mix of pain and grief. Her blue eyes were so red with tears. Atlas took a deep breath. I'm good. The girl looked up. Her face was red and her whole body was tense, as if she could jump up at any moment. She spoke again, her tone brightening. I'm sorry, what's your name? Atlas suddenly recognized the voice. Oh my gosh, it can't be. Mabel said, holding out her hand. What about you? Trinity! Atlas interrupted her before she could speak, standing up from his corner. Trinity looked up, her gaze confused for a moment, then her face grew into a wide grin. She stood up. Atlas, is that you? It sounds like you. Atlas nodded, smiling softly. He felt bittersweet about this whole thing. He was happy to finally see his friend of 6 years. And I can't tell you why he's bittersweet. Besides, I can tell him why he's happy, I can't tell you why he's sad. So, that is it. That is chapter 16. I had to cut off midway, and I'm so sorry. But if you want to read the rest of the chapter, wait until the book is released, which will be a little bit, because I still gotta edit and type and all that, but it will be published at one point. And also, there was something else I was going to say. I'm trying to remember what it was. And, yeah, I forget what I was gonna say. Oh well. Oh well. So, yeah, stay tuned for more updates. I will be posting the rest of that chapter today on, like, the written version so you can read it instead of just listening to me say it. And that's all. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in another video.